actually charging my GoPro to make a YouTube video. So I'm out here in this park, my Subaru. Done a bit to it since last time we made a video. For starters, I'm gonna try to show you this so I don't spoil anything yet. It's on an access port now. It doesn't have a custom tune or anything like that. It's on a OTS Cobb Stage 1, which don't know my feelings on it yet. I haven't had any problems other than like on a hot day, but that's just Subaru shit. Supporting the boys over at Avarice. Took one of their banners, took the border off, stuck it on the windshield, and it actually looks real good. I guess quick rundown on it, because it's been a year since recorded anything on this thing. So it's 2021 WRX manual, FA20. I haven't done anything with the motor, power-wise, intercooler, shit like that. It is 100% bone stock. I even still have the top mount. However, I do have an IAG air oil separator now, which honestly, it's time consuming, but it's actually a pretty straightforward, simple install. Give you a nice little YouTube video to follow along, and as well as like paper instructions. Gets coolant from down in the turbo down there to make sure it's all the same temp, you know, science. Got my Cusco brake cylinder stop. The car's lowered about an inch, 0.8, I think is what E-Box said. It's E-Box lowering springs, obviously. E-Box sway bar, front and rear. I think, don't quote me on it, 26 mil front, 24 mil rear. And I have it on the stiffest setting. But we're going to IFO at Flying H in Odessa, Missouri here on Sunday. So I've done a little bit more. I'll just show you. So I've ripped the carpet out, the back seats, everything in the trunk, including everything around here. The wires, obviously I'm not ripping out wires in that light, but that seat, everything's unplugged from it, so it's just quick little 14 mil bolts, and that's out. These weigh nothing, so I'm gonna say it's not even worth breaking clips on that. But I mean, honestly, the rest of this shit was so easy, excuse my language, to take out. I mean, other than the carpet, which honestly, there was one strap underneath the center console that I just ended up cutting, and then I didn't have to take out the center console. Carpet came out in like 5 minutes. The shifter also reminded me, I have a Cobb short throw shift plate on the side of the transmission. My fastest I've ran with the car on the quarter is, actually, I have it right here. I'm losing my hat. I'm losing everything. So I was in the right lane, car 124. Off the line was kind of shitty. It was a 0.772. That was before I had the access port with launch control, so hopefully it'll get off the line a bit better. What is that? The 60 foot, I got 209 eighth mile. No, sorry, 60, 601, 602 to the 330, 92 to the 8th at 78 mile an hour. 11.9 to the 1,000 foot, and I ran a 14.25 at 98 mile an hour, which is on par from everything I saw online with it. It's saying at quarter mile, I'm pretty sure it was 14.2 at 98 mile an hour. The helmet restriction for, I think, NHRA rules are anything faster than a 13.99. You have to have a helmet. So this weekend, I'm hoping to do a one and done, go there with no helmet, run right now with 13.9, and hopefully make this the same performance as an STI, but not an STI. That's about it. Right now it sounds a little rowdier because I disconnected the J pipe with the tuna can on the end. Took the two bolts out and disconnected it from the mid pipe and the axle back, so now it's just kind of dumping from right about here, which thought I would hate the sound more than I do, and I'm kind of really liking the sound of it. It's not the end-all be-all of sounding cars. Not saying it sounds bad though. Debating on pulling the airbags out, but that's honestly probably a little bit too much of a headache than I'm wanting to deal with. We are leaving Sunday morning. Tomorrow, me and Jordan, I think, are going down to our buddy Esger's place. He wants to fuck with his exhaust. I keep saying the F word. He wants to mess with his exhaust on the Jetta, and I'm debating on cutting out tuna can portion, putting a little straight pipe in there, hook up to the rest of it, because I have a nameless axle back. 4-inch mufflers, 3.5-inch tips, and I would rather, you know, use the mufflers I spent money on than the mufflers I mean, I guess I still spent money on it, but I don't know. Worst case scenario, we just cut the pipe out and put the tuna can back in there. All in all, I think it is ready to go down the track. Maybe because I took all that weight out of the rear, should probably do an alignment on it, or at least check it, but don't want to. Tires, they're G-Force Comp 2s from BFG. They've seen some better days, but hell, they still got good traction or tread on them. This tire actually on my driver front is victim to something that I discovered when I flipped them, because they are directional tires. I've had them on here for now like a year and a half. Go ahead and give them a good old flip over. But I think I have about 30,000 miles on them, and they're still more than half-life. So I think they'll be fine. They'll at least survive a couple of days without doing the alignment until I put all that weight back in there. The car is aligned, but it's aligned with the back end sitting probably about 1/2 inch lower. I am going to be battling heat soak issues because I still have the top mount intercooler. My goal to battle that right now is, obviously I'm not trailering the car there, I'm driving the car there. Intercooler's going to get hot, cylinder heads are going to get hot. I'm probably going to bring 2-3 bags of ice just to kind of throw on top of the intercooler, maybe throw on top of the cylinder heads, get the engine cooled down, mostly just the intercooler, because when that intercooler gets hot, I have a meter on my access port that tells me like fine knock learn, which I'm pretty sure that's like cylinder detonation, like the amount of timing that it has to pull out to compensate for that detonation. When this motherfucker gets hot, that number is all over the place. I think once we get to the track, while I'm fiddling with that seat, waiting for like going through tech or just helping, because the Avarice boys, Gentry and Jordan, are all entering into the IFO car show. Maybe go over, help them set up, let the bag of ice cool down that intercooler, and we should be good to go. I did, of course, leave the driver's side floor mat in here for right now because, God, there were rocks underneath the carpet. Like, all in all, I'm happy I took the carpet out just to clean it, because, God, it was a mess. Like, rocks everywhere. I found a headphone that no one can figure out whose headphone it is. Dirt, hair, it was bad. But, I mean, all in all, now it just looks like a stripped out car. Go ahead and let you guys hear it. I'm not one to like the sound of cars from video. I think it's not a good representation, but I'll let y'all hear it, see what y'all think. Like, it's not loud, but it's definitely a little around here. I went ahead and put you guys on the roof, so maybe you can get a good hear. I had this GoPro mount up here forever. I actually never put the GoPro up there, so I got another mount up here, but I don't have another GoPro. on OTS and the car popped before I put that tune on there. I hate this road, I hate this road, I hate this road. God damn, traffic's like non-stop. Turn that off so you can see where I am. And like in the car, I drove this thing about 30 minutes out and 30 minutes back with that unbolted. I mean, sure, I felt a little bit extra heat from around the trans tunnel area because it's right here, it's dumped right here. But I mean, sound wise, it's a little droney, but again, it's right here. So here, I'll roll my windows up, close my sunroof. It's perfectly fine. I do have extra noise from back there, obviously, because there's nothing back there. But it's not like, if somebody was sitting here, we could have a normal conversation, which is odd for having an exhaust dumped right here. Take it kind of slow and right here so we can really get this thing right out. Luckily, there's a little tunnel right next to my apartment, so you can actually kind of hear this thing. Like, that's just insane. It's a night and day difference from when the rest of that thing, or the rest of that exhaust is hooked up, which is wild because there's nothing much back there. You're already going to see on the average channel, but Cooper got some new work wheels in the rear. So now he's got the front Valinos in black, rear works in black. He's debating on the tint, whatever, but honestly, the gold badge, black Lexus, black on black wheels, I think it looks good. God, I keep doing it. So yeah, this is Ed. I recorded some footage on Tyson Avarice GoPro. But here's Ed. Here's a good look at him in the daylight. I recorded the other stuff at night. He's an 88 DX. It does not have the 1.5 anymore. This car's had like 8 owners. I don't know who swapped it, when it was swapped, whatever. Pretty sure it's an 89 SI motor, so the 1.6 D16 A6. I said it all in the other video. It has been rebuilt by a buddy of mine before I got the car, or before I was even interested in it. It's a car. Oh, hey, I know my car, baby. So this is Ed. He is a 1988 Honda Civic DX stick. Here's the front of him. He's a little worse for wear. By a little, I mean a good bit. What the fuck fell out of it? Anyway. Oh, let me get in here. It actually does have a working hood release. If it was daytime, you can actually see the interior. It's mint. Under the hood, it is swapped with an 89-ish, I'm guessing, Civic SI motor. So it's a 1.6 D16 A6, I'm pretty sure. It's mangled to high. The injector wiring is so spliced, I'm just gonna goddamn rip it out and put just new wires in it all the way through and through. I did rewire, managed to find the wires for the engine coolant temp sensor, so it does idle, but
It'll be on the ceilings like. How you doing,
It's on a donut. The wheel hub is too small for the actual hub on the car, so the only way we can get that straight is putting 4 lug nuts on it, but we have some old ass Honda wheels in the back, if you can see them, with center caps. These new tires. Already tried to put it on. Hub's good. What else? Oh, it also has one working brake, the driver front. Right. It had a massive fuel leak that I fixed. It's not leaking any fuel anymore, so oh well. And for people who don't know, the fuel line's actually, I wish I could open this door right now, but as you can see, it's locked. So the fuel lines actually run from the tank underneath up into the car. They run underneath plastic trim and carpet up to the engine. And the other side is the brake lines that do the exact same thing, which is weird. Missing a gas cap. Because the brakes aren't working, the driver front is the only one that we actually have brake pressure on, but because we have nothing in the other lines, it doesn't really work very well. I mean, when the pedal's on the floor, this is doing something, because obviously the car's not rolling forward like it's just idle. There's some resistance there. The main reason that sent us down this whole deal, the master cylinder was leaking between the cylinder and the booster itself, so the seal on the master cylinder was bad. It needed to be replaced. And the bleeder on the driver rear wheel cylinder was stripped out, so we couldn't bleed it. We could, but the other side was done, so I just get to do this side too. Everything was going good, but when I took this wheel cylinder off, I noticed that no fluid came out of the line at all. The other 3 brakes bled just fine before I replaced that in the master, because we did them at the same time. The master cylinder is full, so it's not leaking anymore. We bench bled it at the lines. God knows how many times Cooper and I did that at work. But for whatever reason, fluid is not getting to the passenger front nor the rear wheels. I didn't even bother with the driver front because one is better than none. But once we bench bled it, confirmed that fluid got into the lines. The hoses also aren't clogged because fluid came out of it. Bench bled it, and I've done numerous times before, a pressurized brake bleeder machine, like from BG or something. Used one of those machines to put pressure on the system to bring fluid back. And trust me, it was pressurized. It was in between like 20 and 30 psi. Enough so that when I cracked that bleeder, it just pushed all the fluid out, not replacing any of it, just air. Same deal on this back corner, and this one never had fluid to begin with. So I really don't know what I should start chasing down, or if I should just rip out the entire system and replace it, which I don't have the money nor the will to do. But it'll get fingered out. But yeah, here it is in all of its doo-doo glory. Alright, I'm gonna give you all a look at what I took out of the car. So this entire corner behind my bedroom door is full of plastics and trunk liner. Ray's trying to talk. Back seat, more shit. Back bench, back seat, my entire trunk mat, and weird plastic foam board, floor mat and tools and crap. Ray, you trying to explore? I'm guessing at least 100 pounds because outside of tool, we put a bunch of my tools and odds and ends car things in Ed. Ed, for the name came from a VIN number. The chassis is actually called an ED3. It is still an EF, however, an ED3. The chassis codes. I hope you can hear that turbo, because that turbo sounds the same as it sounds like I put a massive fucking turbo on this thing. I gotta learn YouTube language because this is gonna be difficult for me.